Good morning, everybody. I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy, and hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. I'll bet you guys are all confused if you're watching on WWDB because we're not live there. We're actually running a rerun because the engineer decided to not show up this morning. Interesting. But anyway, I will tell you that at least we're online, and you guys online can watch us. So today is Tuesday, February 8th. I want to welcome you to the show. And of course, I want to welcome you and thank you for watching on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. And you can find me on Facebook and TikTok and other social media by searching Larry Steinhouse. Hey, just a reminder, if you're watching online, hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. You can also comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. And please say hi so I know you're watching. By the way, if you're commenting from a group and not the Money Chat Now page, I might not be able to see who you are. So please go to the Money Chat Now page, like the page, and comment there so I can recognize you. Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com. There you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. All right, so on today's show, of course, we're going to be discussing the futures update. Once again, we're going to be talking about the war, the pending war, I should say. We're going to be talking about at-home testing, and this goes beyond COVID. We're going to be talking about oil prices, housing profits, the Freedom event planned, and of course, Trump's social media event. So let's talk about this real quick. All right, so let's get into the futures. So normally I would call yesterday like a wild ride. However, it was nothing compared to the wild ride we've had mid-January. Yesterday, the Dow at one point was up about 350 points, and then it settled up only 1.39 points. It was so weird, right? The S&P and NASDAQ struggled to go positive, but they both finished down. Nothing was really a major cause of this except for the fears of war and interest rates. However, this is a already known factor, and I don't know, it was probably just profit-taking as the money managers made some quick money on some of the rising stocks, like the cruise and airline stocks. The 10-year bond rate was above 1.9%. Ooh, and that's really scary. Both Royal Caribbean and CCL were great plays yesterday, and they both rose about 8%. The airline stocks also rose in the news of Spirit and Frontier Airlines merging. Meta tanked again as the stock retreated down another 13 points. Oh man, I can't tell you that this stock, it can't get a break. Peter Thiel, who was the co-founder of PayPal, stepped down from the board of directors yesterday on Meta as well. And the stock's not doing so well after hours today as well. It sounds like something is basically up in the metaverse. I don't know, controversy is coming. However, I got to tell you, I'm waiting for the stock to go below 220 and then to go below 200 before I make my move. Hey, I want to say hello to some guys online. Hey, Bill. Hey, hey, Bill. Hey, Ken. Hey, Jose, I want to thank you for watching online. And, of course, you guys are all awesome. And Jane and Sal. And, of course, my lovely wife just sent me a heart. I love it. All right. Let's talk about what's going on in the Dow futures right now. And the Dow futures are, so we're down 17 points. The S&P is down 10.75. And the NASDAQ is down 66 points. All right, so we've been hearing rumors of war for the past 3 months now. Look, I actually predicted it 3 months ago that it would happen in February, and I had a whole bunch of reasons why that would happen, and it's funny, none of them happen to do with the troops. They all happen to do with timing, like Christmas and January. It was kind of an interesting segment if you ever want to go back and watch it. And I basically predicted that it would be quick and not very deadly. I also don't believe that Ukraine can fully defend itself against Russia, and I don't think it'll be worth their time or the deaths of many to give Russia a black eye when Russia can obliterate their army. Nevertheless, it's possible that this will escalate into something bigger than either side wants, or bigger than the rest of the world wants for that matter. You know, you heard me say yesterday that the alliance between China and Russia is very strong now, and both Putin and Xi have declared that they're the new biggest superpower in the world. Man, that is so scary. Anyway, with the weak leadership we have in America, they're probably right. I mean, seriously, what would Biden do? Buy an ice cream cone and cry for his mommy for help? Really? So, I mean, no one in so-called power here can help this situation. So what does Macron do from France? Macron from France. He decides he's going to get involved and plans a meeting with Putin. No offense, Macron, but the only difference between you and Biden are the fact that you might remember the conversation afterwards, and he won't. That's the only difference. Well, there is only one other difference, of course, and I guess it depends. Macron thinks that his relationship with Putin, he may be able to convince the president to slow down and think. Look, Macron, the world appreciates the gesture, and since you're running for re-election, it's nice to know that you would try to make this gesture just so you can win re-election. But honestly, Putin has already made up his mind, and in the next few weeks, we will see what that decision is. Meanwhile, Germany, who is a slave to Russia because Russia supplies them with 40% of their oil, is trying to stay neutral. Germany is now being accused of blocking help to Ukraine as well. So they're actually blocking the help. There have been reports that Germany stopped Estonia from sending weapons to Ukraine, and Ukraine's defense minister has said that Berlin blocked Ukraine's attempts to procure weapons via NATO. So Germany is becoming an enemy as well, or at the very least looking out for their best interests like the cowards usually do. Of course, Germany is using the fact that Ukraine is not a member of NATO so they don't have to defend them or help them in any way. And that may be true. The United States also has their hands tied in this matter because of the same reason. And we also know that brain-dead Biden can't negotiate a deal to allow Ukraine into NATO. So here we have it, folks. A confrontation the size of a spark is about to cause a war in Europe if someone doesn't stand up to Russia and China. You know, by the way, that Trump did it when he was president, and he stood up to both of them. Well, I got to tell you, I'm so happy because at least we don't have mean tweets anymore. War's going to be much better than mean tweets. Unbelievable. All right. Hey, Jeff, thanks for watching. All right, let's talk a little bit about in-home testing. So I'm really beginning to believe that the scamdemic was all about pharmaceutical and scientific companies needing to create opportunities for future revenue. The newest market that will survive post-scamdemic will be the in-home testing market. Currently, it's predicted that in-home testing is much bigger than COVID tests and much bigger than over-the-counter pregnancy tests. I want to know what happens if you mix the two up. I don't know, do you have a baby that you call COVID? Whatever. All right, so new entrants like Everlywell, by the way, it's a company called Everlywell, coordinate testing to get it directly to the consumer's hand. Tests can calculate anything from fertility to STDs using the same testing infrastructure built by the likes of diagnostic companies as well as some of the laboratories in the nation. So basically what you do now is if you meet somebody in a bar and you want to sleep with them, you have to give them two tests. You have to say, hey, take a COVID test and take an STD test, and then I'll let you know if we can sleep together tonight. All right. Anyway, it's important to understand, of course, that these are tests and the results should be confirmed with doctors. So that might not work anyway. It's like those supplements that some people take. They have disclaimers that say they can't diagnose or cure any illness. Well, these have similar disclaimers. Look for more and more testing kits and more illnesses as the world progresses, because that's really what's going to happen. All right, I'm still waiting for the medical tricorder so I could see everything that's wrong with me all at once. You remember Star Trek and the medical tricorder? All right. And actually, I'm kind of concerned because if it scanned me, it would probably overload and blow up. That's how bad I am. All right, let's talk a little bit about oil prices. Hey, how about those oil prices? Oh, yeah. We are seeing the price of oil raise substantially since Biden took office. In fact, oil now is over $90 a barrel. You know, I did some research on this, and it looks like oil prices peaked in 2008, right before the Great Recession of this country. So think about that. The price at that point, however, was over $140 a barrel. Oil prices dropped in 2009 and then reached a high of about $104 during the Obama years. When Trump took office, we had some of the lowest oil prices on average, and for the entire century, by the way. This century, that is. Well, now we have brain-dead Biden running the ship into the ground, and we have high prices and inflation everywhere. So here are some interesting facts about how it related to the price of gasoline. In 2008, when oil was at its all-time high peak, we saw gas prices hit an average of $3.27 a gallon. And by the way, this is all without taxes. Now our average gas price is over $3.60 a gallon. But don't forget that the barrel price still hasn't hit the all-time high. So that means there are many more factors in the price of gas than just the barrel price. We know that there's a labor shortage, and that's driving up prices because they got to pay people more. We know that insurance for trucks and costs of rent for offices are all going up as well. And these are just some of the factors that will make the oil prices increase. I'm expecting the price of oil per barrel to top 100 very soon, actually. But what will that mean at the pumps? So we'll probably see the average gas price top $4. And look, don't forget, again, like I said before, these are before taxes and surcharges that local governments impose. And remember, it's an average. I got to tell you, there are some places like California with their ridiculous taxes and inflation are seeing prices at the pump of $5 a gallon for regular. Whew. I'll tell you, if the Ukraine and Russia war sparks up, the price of gas will be outrageous. So watch for it. Hey, if you want to learn how to make enough money to pay for your gas, you definitely want to watch this next commercial, and I'm going to tell you all about how to do it.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to thank everybody on WWDB Radio. We had a little bit of technical glitch there for a little while, so we ran a quick portion of a best of, but I believe we are back live. So I want to welcome you to the show. And if you're watching online, please hit that share button so you can help your friends learn about how to make more money. Hit that like button and let me know you enjoy the show. And of course, you can leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube, and I will try to respond to them live. Hey, Jane says she loves this show. Hey, I love this show too, but I got to listen to myself every day. So that's kind of interesting. I like to talk to myself. All right, let's talk about what's going on in the futures. So right now, the Dow is up 14 points. The S&P is down 6, and the NASDAQ is down 50. We talked about at-home testing and how the world is going to go to all at-home testing for anything that you have, and how you're probably going to be able to give your future mate or whatever, sex partner, a test for I don't know, for STDs before you sleep with them. We talked about oil prices, and of course, coming up, we will be talking about housing prices. We're going to be talking about Trump's social media, and hey, I may even mention the fact that we have a freedom event planned. All right. Hey, we got Joe. Joe's online. Good morning, Joe. Thanks so much for watching. And of course, I'm going to be talking about today's picks and plays. But first, did you like that? Did you hit that like button yet? Hey, Joe, hit that like button, hit that share button. Don't forget to leave comments on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube or Twitter. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, be sure to set a preset to this station and listen every day at 7:30. Also, when you get home, look up Money Chat Now on Facebook and let me know what you think of the show. All right, let's get into the second half, and let's talk about housing profits. All you listeners and viewers of this show know that I am heavily into real estate, and I'm going to tell you, it paid off nicely. And I'm going to tell you, it paid off nicely, especially in the past 2 years. But I'm not the only one it paid off for. Even the average homeowner who purchased a home to live in is experiencing a great increase in the value of their home. Annual home price gains averaged 15% in 2021, up from 6% in 2020. I got to tell you, while there were relatively few home sellers in 2021, those who did list their home, the returns were well worth it. The profit on a typical home sale last year was over $94,000, according to a national property database. That's up 45% from the profit in 2020 and up 71% from pre-pandemic profits. And a vast majority of local housing markets participated in that growth. So no matter where you live, that probably happened, except, of course, if you're in Philadelphia or New York, because the mayors there destroy properties and destroy life there, but that's a different issue. So here's the scary part. It was the highest profit level since 2008. There's that year again. I mentioned it twice in this show, one about the oil prices and one about housing prices, and that's kind of scary. All right, some say it's different this time because the last boom was built, of course, on predatory mortgages, or at least what they're calling predatory mortgages, but I got to tell you, I don't necessarily agree with that. Well, yes, it's true that it was very easy to get a mortgage, but the housing prices were also driven by a demand for not just housing, but also speculation. The problem when housing prices start to shoot up is that everyone thinks it's going to continue for a lot longer. Well, housing prices, I'm going to warn you right now, they will probably rise again this year, but my prediction is this is the last great year for housing prices, and the last best year was last year. And don't forget, that's going to change. So in the next 10 years, it may happen again, but it's going to slow down. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that housing prices are going to crash like they did in 2008 and 9, at least not yet. But the increase in prices is going to slow down substantially after this year. So here's the best plan for you. Do this, do this, do this. You probably have a bunch of equity in your home right now, or even better, in rental properties. Don't let that money sit there. I suggest you get a home equity line of credit, or a HELOC for short, and apply immediately. You can also do a cash out refi, but whatever you do, get that money. The reason you want this line of credit is so that you can access it when an excellent opportunity comes along. You may also want to invest in the money elsewhere. Real simple. If you're paying 3 to 4% interest and you can make 8 to 10% interest, you're making money on your money. Hello, this is what people do. This is what the rich people do. They make money on their money. Listen, my book, Money Hacks, is all about different ways that you can make money on your money. Don't forget that when you use this money, the interest is also tax deductible, and that's a plus. So don't let the equity in your home, which on average is over $75,000, just sit there. Get that money. Also remember that the money comes to you without taxes. You know, you're not selling the asset, you're borrowing against it. Sometimes I have some of my students who come up to me and they ask me about selling a property for the money. Most of the time, after taxes, they were better off just borrowing the money instead and keeping the asset. In fact, as a rental property, the tenants will be paying for it anyway. And like I said, it's all discussed in my book, Money Hacks. Listen, if you didn't pre-order this book, you really should pre-order this book. Go do a search on Larry Steinhouse, Money Hacks, and definitely do a search on this and pre-order the book. In fact, if you pre-order the book and you show me a pre-order and show up at my office, I'm going to give you another copy signed. So make sure you do it. All right, let's get into this now. Let's talk about what's going on with, my favorite president and his new social media company. So let's talk about Trump's social media company. Look, we all know that the cancel culture and cancel free speech movement of the Nazi left-wingers has caused Trump to be banned from all social media. Well, as some of you know, Trump has been working on a social media platform with a group of developers and investors with a company called Digital World Assets. The symbol is DWAC. The social media platform will be called Truth, and I'm sure it will have little or no censoring by the founders and creators. The stock, by the way, for DWAC is selling at $80 a share, giving the company an evaluation of over $3 billion. Now, don't forget, this platform hasn't even been launched yet, and no one's using it. So the platform, by the way, right now, the platform is ripe to start this year, as Facebook is getting beat up by both investors and users. Hey, Zuckerberg, enjoy the revenge of Trump. He's coming for you, and not in the metaverse. I'm actually looking forward to the platform opening, but I gotta tell you, I don't know as much as a user I'm looking forward to it, but I definitely want to see how Trump and Digital World Assets pull this off. I think it'll be pretty wild. Will it be a robust and easy to use? I don't know. I've noticed that several of the other social media platforms are still really difficult to navigate, and they're much more difficult to navigate than Facebook. And, because of that, I get bored quickly because I don't feel like figuring it out. I don't know, maybe I'm just getting too old to learn new things. But either way, all of you watching online, it makes my day to know that you're enjoying the show and watching it, of course, on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. And maybe you'll be able to watch it on Truth, because this show is truth. All right, let's take a break, and we will see you in a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. All right, so far the Dow is actually up 1 point. The S&P is down 7 3/4, and the NASDAQ is also down almost 52. Hey, we talked about war, and we talked about the fact that, I don't know, we're going to see what's going to happen. I predicted it this month. We'll see how it goes. We talked about at-home testing. I'm not going to get into how you could test your partner for AIDS anymore, because that joke is just running out. We talked about oil prices. We talked about housing profits and how to make money. I'm telling you, you definitely want to take an equity loan or get a cash out refi in your house. And we talked about Trump's social media. So coming up is today's picks and plays. Hey, did you guys hit that share button yet? Did you guys hit that like button yet? Come on, man. Come on, let's go. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Let's go, Jeff and Linda and Joe. Hit that share button. Let everybody know you're watching the show. And you can share it on your page or in groups that you feel will benefit. And I want to say hello to Joe, who just joined us online as well. All right. And don't forget, I want to see all your comments on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. I get to see them all. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about politics behind the stock market. Hey, for you guys listening on WWDB, we're going to be trying something new on Friday. It's going to be called Phone Call Fridays. So you're going to be able to interact with me on the phone. So you'll be able to call in and tell me how great my show is, how much you hate the show, or anything that you want to talk about. And I'll even let you say poopy pants Biden if you want to. All right. So let's talk about what's going to happen today. I'm not really sure, but we do have some earnings that may shape the market. We have Alibaba up this morning, and I've not seen those earnings come through yet. And I'm going to tell you, that'll set the tone for all of the Chinese stocks. The company has been beaten down over the past year because of the fears of the Chinese government making it difficult to make a profit. What are you going to do? Communists are communists. We also have Harley-Davidson announcing their earnings this morning as well. And if it follows the car company's example, they probably will report a chip and part issues due to the supply chain, and it'll probably cause less bike sales because they weren't able to get the bikes to sell. We also have Toyota reporting, and that, I don't know, I'm curious to see if they're going to have the same problems. And of course, we have the vaccine manufacturer Pfizer reporting. Yay, Pfizer! Oh, yeah, right. I'm looking forward to them saying that they aren't selling too many more COVID vaccines, and I hope this tanks the company, but I actually think that the report already came through and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Urgh. All right, tomorrow we also have some interesting earnings as well. We have Disney and Uber, and of course, right now, the futures, actually, the Dow is unchanged. It's not even moving. We do have the S&P is down 9 1/4, and the NASDAQ is also moving down even more, down 60. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. It could be an issue. It could not be an issue. I don't know. But I want to talk real quickly about the Freedom event. We're going to be having a major event, and it's an amazing event in April, and you want to be there. This event will be discussing money and specifically how to make more and keep more. But we also have two prominent, well-known, and admired freedom fighters who will be talking about how you can help win the fight for freedom. And one of them, I am now officially announcing, is Bill Spadea. And Bill Spadea is right now on the air with me while I'm on the air, but he's on a different station. Anyway, he's the #1 talk show host in New Jersey, and of course the founder of the Common Sense Club, which is designed to help people live in freedom and not tyranny. This event will be all day on April 24th at the historic Washington Crossing Inn, and it'll include a continental breakfast and a wonderful lunch by their first-class chef. So go to #4mmw.com to register, #4mmw.com to register. And I'm going to tell you, this event is going to be a great one. Hey, real quick, let's talk about what's going on with crypto. Crypto is moving up a little bit. Bitcoin finally topped 4,400 again, and Ethereum is about 3,200 again, so that's not bad. Gold and silver, nothing really to report. However, of course, the Treasury bond is inching up, and it's coming close to 2, and that's going to be really scary because when it does, the Nasdaq's going to tank. Hey, I want to thank all you listeners on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia, and I want to thank you for your continued support. And of course, I want to thank you, everybody, for watching online. My name is Larry Steinhouse. I am the host of Money Chat Now, and I'm also the CEO of Investor Schooling. So I want you guys to have a profitable day. We'll see you tomorrow.